All right, today I want to talk about how difficult it is to learn a language and how important it is to practice every day. And so I wanted to show you this book that my cousin got for me. It's one that she used for her daughter when she was learning. And it's, from what I can see, a first level Chinese reading book. And so this is actually very difficult for me to read, but fortunately it has some pinyin right there, so that can help me read. So I'm learning the characters, but actually the characters are very difficult for me. So I wanted to read you this poem. It's one of the first ones in the book, and you probably already know this story. So it's called 小乌鸦爱妈妈. And we'll see how I do with my pronunciation. It says, 路边开满野菊花，飞来一只小乌鸦，不吵闹，不玩耍，急急忙忙飞回家。乌鸦妈妈年纪大，身体不好，躺在家。小乌鸦叼虫子，一口一口喂妈妈。多懂事的小乌鸦，多可爱的小乌鸦，飞来飞去不忘记，妈妈把它养育大。And when I first read this poem or this story, I didn't understand most of the characters. But then I had to look up, I had to look up a lot of words and vocabulary, and you can see some of my notes here of all the things that I had to look up and study. And it took me probably an hour to go through and look everything up and see how everything connected. But then I learned about the story of this little crow who knows that his mom is old and needs help in her old age, and so this little crow goes and helps the mom to eat and never forgets that her mama is the one who raised her. And I thought that was so sweet. Like, that was such a sweet story, and it was so fun to kind of uncover those pieces of vocabulary that I didn't know and learn something new. And it's like uncovering a mysterious puzzle, and then you learn what it means, and it's really exciting. And so I wanted to talk about how difficult learning a language is, and how it doesn't come easy. And like with me learning Chinese, like this is so frustrating on level 1. Like it's so frustrating for me sometimes because it feels slow, and it feels like I'm not making very much progress, and it feels like even if I study for several hours, like I can't see any progress, And so I like to think of learning a language is similar to like building a house. And when you first start, and for the first while, you're actually going backwards, like you're digging a hole. You want to build a house high, but one of the first things you do is dig. And you dig into the dirt and remove all the dirt, take everything out, and you prepare the ground for the house. And so that part can be frustrating because it looks like you're not making any progress, and you're actually digging a hole deep, deep, deep. But then slowly you start to form that dirt and kind of understand where you are and where you want things to be. And then you pour the cement and the foundation. At least here, this is how the houses are built. And you pour that cement and the foundation, and it's also hard, and there isn't a lot of progress, and it doesn't look like a house at first. And then slowly you put in the bolts and the anchors that are going to secure that foundation to the walls. And you put in the support beams, lots of support beams that are going to hold that weight of the house. And then slowly you put in the wood studs that create the walls. Then you add sheetrock, and it's the drywall that goes around. And then on top of that, you put tape, a certain kind of tape, to connect each piece of drywall and make the cracks disappear. And then you put kind of like a mud on that and smooth it out, a material that really smooths that wall. Then you can paint. And then, you put, I guess you paint later, but then you put on the roof and the doors and the molding and all of those things to finish the house. And then it looks amazing. So I feel like that's very similar to learning a language, where like you start by actually going backwards and digging into, everything you know, and it feels like you're starting from scratch, and then you slowly build up. And there are many weeks or months or even years where it doesn't feel like you're making very much progress. And then little by little, you can say more. You can listen better. You can express yourself with more vocabulary. And a lot of it, I think, is just trusting that process and continuing to lay down one more brick and another brick and another brick as you slowly build that foundation and that house of your language fluency. And so that's what I'm doing. That's how I learned Spanish and how I learned Portuguese. And Chinese for me is the most difficult, but I know that it's possible, and I know that it's really just that step-by-step process. And soon enough, I'll be speaking more and more. And if you like hearing my funny accent and reading a story, there are a lot of stories in here. So if you'd like to hear another one, leave me a comment below, and I'll find another good one for you. See you next time.